Welcome back to another Pokemon Falling Friday, your one-stop shop for all your Pokemon information. We go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. And we do also cover any big Pokemon news that cards are set to get revealed. And if I do see any good deals, I always try to throw them in here too. And before we get started, we do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Collectr. This app is the best of the best when it comes to tracking your collection. No other app even compares. I have actually tried them all. They have over 25 different TCGs with 1.5 million products tracked, and they're always adding new cards, boxes, and features. So let us know down below if there's anything you want them to add or fix. Otherwise, you can even go to their website and let them know, and they'll get working on that ASAP. And another thing, you need to be following them on all their socials because they do more giveaways than anyone in this entire hobby. We're going to be doing another giveaway here very soon, so definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. But all right, let's get started. So they revealed another new Mega, so if you guys are trying to avoid any spoilers, definitely skip ahead like 30 seconds. They got the new Mega Malamar. Let me know down below what you guys think. I mean, it's pretty creepy looking, that's for sure. I don't know, I've seen half people say they love it and half the people say they hate it, but that's literally with every single Mega Evolution so far. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, let me know down below. Let's do a little ranking of all the new Mega Pokemon. So we got the Malamar, we got the Dragonite, we got the Victory Bell, and then we got the Hawlucha. So yeah, rank them 1 through 4, number 1 being the best. Now, I'm going to get some hate for this, but Dragonite is my favorite of the 4. And then probably Malamar, and then Victory Bell, and then Hawlucha. I like Hawlucha's. I just feel like they didn't change him very much. It looks like he just kind of changed outfits. All right, let's get into it. So we got the Journey Together booster box. This is just a regular one. Got up to $262. Now last sold $248, $239, $245. All right, next we have the new Costco Pokemon Holiday Calendar and Great Ball Bundle. This thing started off at about $80. Now last sold $73, $76, $60, $59. I really hope these get cheap. These should not be scalped. I mean, these are specifically meant for kids during the holidays. Next, we have the Twilight Masquerade ETB. So we got a reprint of this. A lot of LGSs got them. A lot of Walmarts, Targets got them. Was at $98 for this ETB. Now last sold $68. Someone got 10 of them at $68. All at $68.50. Next, we have the Prismatic Evolution Surprise Box. This was at $56. Now last sold $44, $43, $37, $45. Next, we have the Prismatic Evolutions Booster Bundle. This was at $68. Now last sold $57, $56, $52. It says must buy at least 4 or order will be canceled. Some about 8 of them. Pretty strict. Next, we have the Prismatic Evolutions Poster Collection. This was at $31. Now last sold $28, $20, $29, $26, $28. Someone got 6 of them at $20. That is a pretty good deal, to be honest. I think MSRP is $15, so you're just paying $5 over, which is not terrible. Next, we have the Prismatic Mini Tin. This is the Umbreon one, which was $38. Now last sold $29, $29, $29.50. Next, we have the Journey Together 3-pack blister. This has just gone down a little bit, but it was at $26. Now last sold $19, $24, $22, and $21. Next, we have the Journey Together Build and Battle Box. This was at $43. Now last sold $37, $37, $38. Next, the Journey Together Sleeve Boosters. People have been seeing a ton of these in Walmarts and Targets. Didn't really go down too much, but it was at like $7, $8. Now last sold $7, $5, $6, $5. So someone got 15 of them at $5.25. Getting close to MSRP anyways. Next, we have Ethan's Typhlosion. So this was a $42 card. Now last sold $35, $33, $34, $33. Next, we have the Slitherwing from Paradox Rift. This was a $19 card. Now last sold $4, $4, $9, and $3. Next, we have the Ends Reshiram. This is not the stamped promo. This is at $23. Now last sold $14, $12, $14, $15. Next, we have the Umbreon EX of the Prismatic Evolution Surprise Boxes. This was a $77 card. Now last sold $29, $26, $27, and $25. And the other ones are super cheap. Here's Sylveon, which was $25. Now last sold $9, $7, $9, $7. Next, we have the Espeon. This was a $20 card. Now last sold $7, $7, $8, $8. Now these are the type of promos, they're going to get really cheap because the surprise box is pretty cheap right now. But just wait till that surprise box is $100 or maybe $150 one day. These promos will definitely be a lot more expensive. So I feel like if you can get any of these for like, $5, $6, $7, I feel like that's a pretty solid hold. and I feel like they'll do pretty decent in the future. Just like we're seeing the promos do good now. You know, just imagine all the Eeveelution stamped, even though they're not the best arts, but still, people are going to want to collect them for sure. Next, we have the Joltik illustration rare from White Flare. This was at $23. This thing's adorable. Last sold 18, 18, and 16. Next, we have the Dino. Love this card. This is one of my favorite Pokemon, actually. This is at $19. Now last sold 10, 10, 10. Next, we have the Pidove. This is at $20. Now last sold 11, 11, and 10. Next, we got the Gothita. This was at $17. Now last sold 11, 10, 12. Next, we have the Sewaddle. I love the colors on this card. Looks like it's an avatar almost. This was at $16. Now last sold 10, 10. Next, we have the Deerling. Another beautiful card. Really nice looking scene. This was at $22. Now last sold 10, 9, 10. Next, we have the Tepig. This thing was expensive. It was at $30. Now last sold 17, 17, 15. So it's a pretty good drop. Next, we have the Muna. This is at $13. Now last sold 7, 7, 8, 7. Next, we got the Zeb Strika from White Flare. Beautiful card. This is at $24. Now last sold 17, 16, 14, 13. Next, we have the Duat. Even a starter Pokemon. This is at $17. Now last sold 11, 12, 11. Next, we got the Galvantula. This was at $25. Now last sold 13, 13, 15, and 11. Next, we got the Lampent. This was at 17. Now last sold 8, 9, 10. Next, we have the Zekrom EX Special Illustration Rare. This is at $337. Now last sold $199, $198, $199 with a picture, $210. So it's good to see finally getting some sales below $200. Then we have the Reshiram. Last sold $169, $167, $165, $180. But no joke, almost every single special illustration rare, trainer gallery, Galarian gallery, alternate art is going up in price right now. My next Market Monday is going to be crazy. So make sure you guys do not miss that. I struggled finding all these for Falling Friday. Next, we have the Jolteon EX from Prismatic Evolutions. This card was $250 3 months ago. Now last sold $146, $146, $155. And a couple of the Eeveelutions are going back up in price for sure, which is sad to see. Next, we have the Glaceon. This is, same thing, $233. Now last sold $159, $155, $176. So you got to think, people were paying, what's the high for this card? $338 total for this Glaceon, and now you can get it for $160. So that's a way better deal than what they got, and I'm not sure if this card's going to go down in price a ton more, and it could even go back up like the others. Next, we have the EVEX. That was a lightly played chart, but last sold 118, 115, 108. I have a feeling it's starting to go back up in price right now because we had sales at like 105. Yeah, it's going back up a couple dollars. Next, we have the Hydreigon from White Flare. This is at $205. Now last sold 80, 78, 77. Next, we have the Kyurem. So this is at 121, got down to 60, back up to 70. Now last sold 62, 60, 66, 65, 70 with a picture. Next, we have the Keldeo EX SIR. This is at $74. Now last sold 45, 48, 48, 50. So just got below $50 for that card. Next, we have the Excadrill from Black Bolt. This is at $50. Now last sold 24, 34, 26. Next, we have the Bouffalant SIR. This is at $35. Now last sold 18, 18, 17. Next, we have the White Reshiram Full Art. This is at $488. Now last sold $339, $369, $350, and $360 with a picture. Next, we have the Iono from Paldean Fates. This was at $36. Now last sold $30, $28, $26, and $25. Next, we have the Iono's Belly Bolt EX from Journey Together. This was a $63 card. Now last sold $55, $53, $54, $52. Next, we have the Iono from Paldea Evolved. This was at $69. Now last sold $48, $49, $50, and $48. Next, we have the Gold Iono's Belly Bolt from Journey Together. This is at $30. Now last sold $15, $20, $16, $17. Next, we have the Hops, Zacian EX from Journey. This was a $55 card for a while. Now that's sold 33, 35, 36, and 34. Next, we have the Glaceon VMAX from Evolving Skies. Like I said, one of the only alternate arts that's actually going down in price still, which is crazy. I have a feeling it's going to go back up. This is at $377. Now that's sold 234, 229, 275, 234. Next, same thing with the Espeon VMAX from Fusion. This is at $297 3 months ago. 6 months ago it was at $335. And yeah, that was the high. Now that's sold 296, 240, 235, 290. Next, we have the Glaceon V Alt Art from Evolving. This was at $138. Now that's sold 92, 103, 97, 95. And this one is starting to go back up in price just a little bit, a couple dollars. All right, next we're hopping to Poke Data here, checking some PSA 10 sales. We got the Seismitoad. We had sales for this card at $3,050 in a 10. Now last sold 1,077, 1,175, and 980. And I have a feeling this is going to keep slowly falling. Next, we have the Black Zekrom Full Art. This was $2,000 in the PSA 10 when it came out. Now last sold 1,148, 1,175, 1,250, 1,322. Next, we have the White Full Art Reshiram from White Flare. This is at $1,800. Now last sold 979, 1,200. 1,100, 999. Then we're going to hop to eBay and check out that brand new Chinese Gengar. So last sold on eBay. Let's see here. We got a PSA 10 set at 3,457 and 3,107. We had a gold Beckett 10 at 3,500. And then raw, we got 1,200, 1,485, 1,625. It's really going to depend on the condition. And then if we're going to go to the highest before, so we can see what the prices were at before, we got black labels at 17K, 14K, 12K, 12K. But we got PSA 10 sales here at the end of July. $6,100, 51, 51. CGC Pristine 10 at 4,800. Another PSA at 48, 48. So they definitely overpaid. And last on the list, we got the new Japanese McDonald's Pikachu. So the PSA 10 has come down a little bit in price, except the last sold now is $399. But before that, it was $273, $256, $285, $265. We did have a lot of sales at $300, $350, even some at $400. And then if we go to the highest, there was a brand new sale if we get rid of the PSA 10. And that is a black label at $21,100, 69 bids. Absolutely so stupid because there's going to be a lot more of these black labels. I'm sure the next black label is going to sell for, 17 grand and then 14 grand and then 10 grand, just like we've seen with those Gengars. Every time I see this happen to a card, I always think there's some foul play going on. I could see someone, getting a few of these black label 10s, having the first ones on the market and, having a friend buy it for a crazy amount. And then, that guy just gives the money back. But now this card is established at 21 grand. And let's say if they have 10 more, and, instead of this card being a couple grand, which if we're looking at PSA 10 prices, it should only be 2 grand in the Black Label 10 compared to all the other cards. Now the card's selling for 21 grand and the next one's going to sell for 17 grand or 15 grand or whatever it is. So that's what I think of right away. But again, you never know. Yeah, I would never in a billion years want to buy this card for that price. There's thousands and thousands of other cards that I would rather have than this card. I'd rather have, thousands of the same Suicune from Crown Zenith over, one of these cards. But all right, that was today's Pokemon Falling Friday. If you guys do like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. I do comment back to every single person. I usually comment back to everybody Sunday night, and I don't comment back to everybody on the giveaway videos because there's just so many comments. But I always will comment back. And then if you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, my TikTok, or my YouTube membership. It's only 99 cents a month. And I also have to mention too, I'm going to start traveling for a lot of these card shows. So I got Seattle at the very beginning of next month for Card Party. The month after that, I got Columbus, Ohio, which I'm going to be vending at. The month after that, or maybe in December, I got Indianapolis I'll be vending. So I'll definitely be traveling all over to see you guys. So very, very excited for that. If anybody does want me to come to one of their shows that they're setting up, just hit me up and maybe we can work something out. And then too, if you guys want to watch my last Pokemon Throwback Thursday, which was a super good one, we covered Venusaur in one of the best X and Y sets. Click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.